Hey everyone, I wanted to do a follow-up video from my water fast video because I just am so surprised at how that video really struck a nerve with so many people. I just want to clear some things up and clarify some stuff, answer some questions, and make it really clear why I chose to water fast. I thought that I had been really clear in my previous videos about why I was doing this and the struggles that I was having with food sensitivities, but apparently that didn't come through the way that I was hoping that it would come through. But first, I really want to say thank you so much to everyone who left really positive, kind, and supportive comments regarding my fast and regarding that video, because it really helped to counteract a lot of the negative feedback and really balance it out for me, because I'm still healing and I'm still in a fragile state, and having all of your positive comments and kind words just made such a huge difference to balance out the negative feedback that was coming in. So I really, really, really appreciate that, and just want you to know how much that meant to me. So thank you. The whole fasting experience was so positive. I would do it all over again in a heartbeat, because it was that beneficial. And some people said I made fasting look really bad. And one person even said that I should take my video down because I was giving fasting a bad name by representing it in the way that I did. As if fasting is like this easy breezy, glamorous walk in the park. But I'm here to tell you it's not. It's not an easy thing to do. If it was, everyone would be doing it. And I don't know how much more honest and true of a representation I could have given than just being myself on camera and explaining what I was going through at the time. I don't see how that's giving fasting a bad name, especially when in the end I'm showing really positive experiences of being able to eat foods that I haven't been able to eat in so long. And fasting is really serious business. This is not just something that you just decide on a whim to do. This is something that really takes a lot of thought. It takes a lot of courage. It takes some great understanding about why you're fasting, about how important it is, about how beneficial it is. It's not just something that you do on a whim, and it's certainly not something to be toyed with or messed with in any way. And it's definitely something to be done under supervision, especially if it's longer than just a couple of days. And that's why I chose to fast with Dr. Graham, because he's the best of the best out there to fast with, and he has incredible years of experience under his belt fasting people successfully. So I did not take this lightly. This is not something that anyone should take lightly. There were days when I felt good and I had energy, like I said in my video, and then there were days when I didn't. And there were days when all I wanted to do was just lay in bed, because that's what felt right to me at the time. And to get the most out of a fast, it's really important to rest as much as possible. And I really tried to do that as much as I could. And out of all 13 days, there was one day where I needed to be carried, because I felt really sick to my stomach and really weak upon standing, and I didn't want to miss the lecture. So one day I was carried. So let's not make like this huge big deal out of needing to be carried. A lot of people got carried away with that. No pun intended. Someone said that they were unsubscribing because they didn't agree with the content. And that is just really bizarre to me, because it's like they would rather me suffer with my food sensitivities and my limited choices of food, rather than taking my health into my own hands and doing something that I've researched, doing something that I felt really comfortable doing. And after I've tried everything to try to heal my food sensitivities, I chose this modality because it's the oldest known modality for healing the body. It's been around for thousands of years. People have been doing it. They did it in biblical times. People do it for spiritual reasons. And many people have done it for a very long time with great results. And even animals do it. Animals do it for myriad reasons. Out in the wild, animals will fast. So it's not like this crazy thing, it's just that people aren't familiar with it. And so therefore, it feels wrong or weird or bad to them. And really, I highly recommend doing your research on it and maybe reading books by Shelton, like Fasting Can Save Your Life. It would really help to educate you and give you more information about it if you would like to know more information. So it was really interesting to me to see how everyone took a different perspective on the videos. Some people saw it as really positive, other people saw it as very negative, but everyone's views are obviously valid to them. It's what they're feeling at the time for whatever is going on in their heart and their mind. What they're feeling is what they're feeling. And it's interesting that someone said it looked like I was slowly dying. Someone else said it brought back bad memories for them. My healing experience that was so positive brought back bad memories for them. There were lots of comments about me wasting away. Someone said it looked like it had a cult-like undertone, which I don't get that. It really made me laugh. That was an interesting comment. Another person said eating disorders are real and watching somebody starving is disturbing. There was no eating disorder. If there's any disorder at all, it's that my body was rejecting foods and reacting to foods to the point where I just couldn't eat them. I was really limited to a very small amount of food, and that was really frustrating for me. There's no eating disorder. I love to eat. I don't love to overeat, and I don't love to undereat. I love food, and I love to eat. There is no issue with food. And lots of comments about starving yourself and starvation. So these are all comments that are obviously valid to the people who are sharing them, but they're all very much fear-based. And I had absolutely no fear throughout the entire process. Never once did I fear what I was going through. I was very confident in my body's ability to heal itself, which is why I chose to water fast. And I understand that what people were seeing was foreign to them. And it was also scary. So in that regard, I understand, but it's also because on their part, they have fear because they don't understand. They don't know about fasting. They're not educated in that healing modality. And like I said, it's one of the oldest healing modalities we have today. And most people don't understand the awesome power of the human body to heal itself when we get out of the way. And that's what fasting is all about. So I just want to share some information about fasting, especially in response to some of the comments about starvation and starving yourself. This is from a book on fasting. It says that fasting is not starving. These are two very different things. One is beneficial and one is harmful. Obviously, fasting is beneficial, starving yourself is harmful, and that is not the point of fasting. It is not anything to do with starving yourself. One is a valuable therapeutic measure, the other is a death-dealing experiment. A man named Dr. Hazard explains it like this. Starvation results from food denied, either by accident or design, to a system clamoring for sustenance. Fasting consists of intentional abstinence from food by a system suffering from disease and non-desirous of sustenance until rested, cleansed, and ready for the labor of digestion. Fasting is a rest. It's a physiological vacation. It is not an ordeal nor a penance. It is a house cleaning measure which deserves to be better known and more widely used. So I understand when you first hear about fasting, it's almost like the first time you hear about somebody who eats nothing but raw food and you're completely unaware of it. You're like, oh my God, what a weirdo. You know, this person only eats raw food. They don't cook. They don't eat meat. What is that? It's very strange. So it's the same thing when you first hear about fasting. It seems so weird. What, you wouldn't take in food for 2 weeks? I didn't take in food for 13 days. Some people go much longer than that. Some people go as long as 30 days, and maybe even a little longer than that. It just all depends on the person and what kind of time they have to heal their body and how sick they are, and there's a lot of factors involved. So if I had been in a position to fast longer, Dr. Graham probably would have fasted me longer than 13 days, but you have to have a certain amount of time to recover in his presence so that he knows that you're okay by the time you go home, so that you're refeeding, that you're exercising, and you're regaining your strength and regaining your weight. So there's so many factors involved. So again, the reason that I fasted is because my body was rejecting foods. I was having reactions to eating all acid fruits and all greens. When I would eat acid fruits, I would break out terribly. I would break out with hives, I would break out with acne, and it was very uncomfortable. When I was eating greens, I was breaking out in hives, and I was having all kinds of issues with my eyes, with eye styes, and then they would develop into bigger issues where big red bumps on my eyes, lots of stuff coming out of them, and it was very unattractive and very itchy and annoying and very frustrating. And so my choice of foods already were limited to fruits and vegetables, and then the entire vegetable portion of foods was not acceptable to my body, and a good portion of fruits were not being accepted or properly received by my body, not being properly absorbed, or I don't even know really why I was having these specific reactions, but I was really limited to a small amount of sweet and subacid fruits. And I was really beginning to feel trapped in my food choices, and it was really frustrating. And I did not want to live like that forever, and I didn't want to get to the point where maybe now, subacid fruits are starting to affect me, and then who knows what would happen. It just kept getting worse, and I'm not sure why. So I tried all different kinds of other methods to try to remedy the situation, from food avoidance to spending thousands of dollars on a healing modality called NAET, and tried that last year and did not really have any success with that. So I did the next best thing that I could do for my body, which was water fasting. And I was really confident in the process. I had no issues of fear, no major crises came up. It was not easy. And yes, I did have many days where I felt ill and I felt sick to my stomach, and I'm sure a lot of that was related to a lifetime of digestive issues that were all healing. And for whatever reason, they need to be healed. And by not taking in food, it allows our bodies to completely go to work and clean house and heal on a very deep level. It allows our bodies to rest and repair in a way that it doesn't otherwise get to rest and repair, because when you eat, the body has to go through a lot to digest. Even if you're eating raw food, there's still a digestive process happening. There's still a lot going on that your body has to tend to. So when you take that out of the picture, your body can completely go to work healing itself. And like I said, I would do it again in a heartbeat. And I'm already putting weight back on. I'm exercising. I feel really good. I'm noticing interesting changes. I'm noticing more motivation and just incredible, the strength in my digestion, how much better my digestion is just from doing the fast. And the appetite that I have now is huge, and I love it. So I'm able to eat more than I was eating before, and my digestion is working beautifully, just better than ever. I feel like my kidneys are working better. Lots of internal changes going on. And again, the healing process after a fast, it takes at least 1 to 2 months for every week that you fasted. So it could take me 4 months to really fully heal and repair and be back up to full strength. But it's worth it. It's worth it, and I'm, again, really happy that I did this. And it's amazing to me how many times I said that in the video, and people were still so bothered by my appearance. And, again, I understand everybody has their own thing. But I want everyone to be really clear that fasting is an amazing healing modality. I mean, it's the best modality on the planet that we have available to us. And it really would be great if more people knew about it. The amount of fasting stories that we got to hear during the lectures, the healing stories, just the sheer amazing healing stories that we got to hear, they were mind-blowing and so beautiful. And it's so sad that, more people can't take advantage of fasting opportunities and learn more about it. So I just wanted to clear things up, answer some questions. People wanted to know why I did it. I also had a question about how much water I drank. They wanted us to drink as much water as we could so that we were peeing 8 to 10 times a day. and that our pee was clear. And in the beginning, it was easier to drink more water. When I wasn't feeling well, it was harder to drink more water. But actually, the more water I drank, the better it would help me to feel. It was like it was flushing stuff out. So I really tried to drink as much as possible, and did get to the point where I was going to the bathroom 8 to 10 times a day and peeing clear, and it all worked out. I'm still here to tell about it, and I'm doing great. Life is good. Life is really, really good. I am enjoying food so much more than I was ever enjoying it before. Every bite of every food tastes amazing, and I'm just really happy. So I hope that this helps to clear things up. I hope that this allows you to see that fasting is a really good thing, and that I am okay. I'm doing really well, and I'm looking forward to continuing to do well and to thriving better than I ever have before on a low-fat, raw vegan diet. So I will be posting some photos and information, like I promised, on my experience on Banana Island, which was really another amazing experience. It was so fabulous. And if you ever get the chance to visit Banana Island with Dr. Graham, I highly recommend it, as well as the whole fasting experience. And I would also like to say that my fasting experience will not be the same as your fasting experience. In fact, most of the people who were fasting with me had a very smooth, uneventful fast. And, you know, for the most part, you just get more tired and you get weak, but you still feel okay. And as you do experience certain symptoms, sometimes they come and go. Like I mentioned, the symptoms come and they go, and you experience them, and then they're gone. And some people's had the worst they felt was after they broke their fast, because now suddenly their body's doing different kinds of healing. And they would have like really severe symptoms, but then the next day they're gone. So everybody's going to be different. Everybody's going to have a different experience. My experience was my experience. It is what it is. I'm not going to glamorize it. I'm not going to say that it's easy or a walk in the park or make it look like some beautiful, amazing, glorious feat. It is amazing, it is glorious, but it doesn't look that way. And to portray it and say in a way that makes it look that way would be completely deceiving. And it would be completely wrong of me. It would be a lie to promote it as something so glamorous and so easy, because it's just not. And I'm just not going to apologize for being honest in my video. So I will be posting about Banana Island in the next video. And thank you again for your support and for being on this journey with me. It's definitely a journey, and I wouldn't change it for anything. So I hope you guys are doing great, and I will see you next time.